positive stats more than their traits. But make sure you've got a good research, that's really important. That will help you a lot. Wait, is this jerk going to drop his fertilizer here? Nah. Be alright. It'll be okay. These can reach all this stuff. Okay. I'm conscious that I've got idle dupes in a minute, but I'm going to do a big sweep once this room's done, and that'll sort of fix everything, so it'll be alright soon. $833 kilowatts of cool, yes. Yeah, that's pretty solid, that I do. That's what I'd normally do myself, yeah. Any suggestions or tutorials for surviving the mid-game? Struggle with running out of water way before where you are. The main thing is just don't go too crazy in the early game, wasting liquid. Don't waste too much water on things like mush bars, or... the only thing that really will cost you a lot of water in the early game is research. Research actually costs a shit ton of water, you don't realise. So don't rush your research either until you need the stuff. Good evening, Cunny, how are you, mate? Have you tried Surviving Mars? I have tried Surviving Mars. I do plan to play some more of it on stream. I enjoyed it a lot. How are you, buddy? How's it going? What are the tips, really, for surviving the mid-game? I mean, water is obviously very much dependent on how good your geysers are now. In this save we've got at the minute, in this playthrough we're doing now, our water supply isn't actually that great. We've got a pretty shitty geysers, truth be told. Like this one's currently dormant for another 12 cycles. Just take it easy, don't go too overboard with things like, I say, wasting too much on mush bars or stuff like that. Right, this can all be swept out now. And obviously you can always recycle water. I very rarely do it because I'm a lazy son of a bitch and I don't want to piss away resources that I could use for other things later. I'm probably going to have to use some sieve builds in this playthrough because I don't have enough clean water. I'm going to have to start using some of the excess, I think. Okay. So now this is swept. This should all be swept. This door has been deconstructed. Did I deconstruct this door? What the fuck? Why didn't I just open the airlock? That makes no sense. Do that. So this that we're basically doing here is something for the future. We're not going to use this yet, but I needed to get this in place now. This is basically going to be where I pump our excess natural gas in here in the future. Or rather, wait. What was I going to use this for? What the fuck have I just built that vent for? Oh no, that's what we were going to do. We were going to split the feed. Rather than bridging it into this room, we were going to put it into this room. Meh, that sort of makes sense. So, now that we've done this, let's get these ladders out. Because I don't want those anymore, I don't think. For some reason we've got some balm lily flowers in there, which is strange. So let's get rid of those as well. Should I build into the mush bars? Isn't that kind of a staple? No, your best tip I can give you for early food is get to mushrooms as soon as you can. Mushrooms are really powerful. Saying that, I'm literally about to run out of food myself. Mushrooms are really good. I would really recommend a lot of mushrooms. I think we need to start cooking some eggs. Honestly. Yeah, it's egg time. We've got 102 hatchling eggs. That will have to keep us going for a bit. Oh, our mushrooms stifled or something. What's going on? Got a bit of chlorine there. Mushrooms are really good because obviously when you start expanding in the mid-game or early game, depending on how quickly you do it, you'll find that you've got a shitload of excess slime. That slime can be brilliant for fertilising your mushrooms and getting you some extra food. I don't think there's just one food that you'll want to use anymore. I think you need to mix it up a little bit and use a few different types. That's probably my biggest tip. Right, let's get all you done with this 7 now. Get this done, please. You're suffocating. Cow, why? Okay. Yeah, we've got a few issues at the minute. We're nearly out of coal. We are out of coal, which isn't ideal. Which kind of sucks dick. So our power's going to grind to a halt soon. Which is not nice. So we might need to do a little dig for coal as well. Just to get us a bit of a buffer. Until our natural gas is online, basically. That might be the way to go. None of this is ideal. None of this is ideal. Give me this. That should give us a few tons of coal for now. Okay. Why are these balm lily flowers not getting swept up? We're not storing them anywhere. Just throw them in there. Lumbear, thank you very much for the follow, buddy, and welcome to the stream. Any other questions you got, just ask, buddy. Just ask. Does it make sense to co-locate mushrooms and coal plants? You can do. The only thing you have to manage then is the temperature of the mushroom farm. That's it, really. Are sieves the best, most efficient way to clean polluted water? They're the easiest way. I wouldn't say they're the most efficient, but they're the easiest. And they do give you a fixed output temperature of liquid, which is obviously quite handy. You could use that fixed output of 40-degree liquid for other things. There are different ways of making pure water, like you can boil polluted water and things like that. But yeah. Possible to cool oxygen by piping it through a cold area? Yes. You need to use basically a pipe that's going to radiate the temperature, so like granite pipes or something. It isn't very efficient, but you can use like gas cooling radiators. So pumping hot gas into a pipe in a very cold room, normally something like a room filled with hydrogen or something, works best. But yeah, it's not the most efficient, honestly. I've done quite a quirky build on this setup. So I've got just a standard electrolyzer build here. So I've got 6 electrolyzers in this room. They're not all fully active at all. They're intermittent. So if you watch them, some of them will be overpressurized and then they'll kick up a little bit, and they're not using all that much water realistically because they're only pumping when there's room for them. And then these gas pumps. I might be having power problems at the moment, actually, I'm not sure. These gas pumps all run to mechanical filters, so we're saving a bit of power there, filtering our gas. So there's no powered filters in here, we're just using mechanical filters to filter our hydrogen from our oxygen. Hydrogen gets sent down this pipe, all the way down here, 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 and then into our hydrogen storage. Now at the minute we're not using any hydrogen power. We've got 433 kilos of hydrogen in each tile space in here. So one of the things I need to get done once this is up and running is a hydrogen power plant, which is dead easy to throw together. The oxygen, though, is not being cooled at all in this room. So our oxygen is all coming in at 70 odd degrees. So you can see in this pipe 71.5, 71.6, 71.6. And it's not being cooled until it hits the base. And the way that I've chosen to do this is with this little build here. Okay, so I've basically got a wheezewort in a room filled with hydrogen. I've then got some metal tiles either side of it and a door in between. The door is connected to automation, to this little switch here. Dead easy automation, right? What this basically does is this switch is looking for a change in temperature here. If this goes above 20 degrees, this door will close and it'll cool the tiles next to it. Okay, so at the minute, all the tiles here, these are all wolframite tiles, I think, or maybe iron tiles, I can't remember. Wolframite tiles, and some temp shift plates. My oxygen comes through here, and if I turn this down to like 16 degrees, If we look at the temperature of the tiles now, this door will shut and we'll get a blast of cooling through these tiles. See that? And what that's doing now is radiating this cold temperature to the oxygen that's coming in. I don't actually want it to go that cold, so I'm going to put it back up. And then once it goes below that temperature again, the door will open and no temperature will change. So this is my little build that I've basically built in this base, and I really like it. I've just built a number of these little modules around the base. So I've got 6 at the moment. I've got 3 on each side. And all these basically do is cool my incoming oxygen and give me sort of a, you know, at the moment the temperature is trying to spread to the centre of the base, so I've still got a few machines, but as you can see it's mostly green around all of these modules, which is pretty sweet. I like it. Want to make some clever boil build. I see. Tanori, good evening. Oh, sorry, Nori. I forget. The T is silent. How are you? Is that because the door acts as the cool bridge? All the door is basically doing is when the door is open like this, as it is now, no temperature can exchange because it's technically a vacuum behind here. Okay, so when a door closes and opens again in a fixed space, it won't have any gas behind it or any liquid behind it. It will have killed everything that's behind the door, and when you open it again, it becomes a vacuum. So what we've got is, because vacuums don't transfer any heat, we've got a really cold metal tile here at minus 66 degrees, and then our other tile here, which is currently at 3.9 degrees. When this closes, it will transfer the temperature through. When it's open, no temperature is being transferred, and this room just stays nice and cold. Currently, it's minus 67 degrees, which is weirdly cold, considering Weezeworts aren't meant to go that cold. But it's working. The switch is right as well. Don't know. But that's the build that we've used in this base. I quite like it, to be honest. I think it's pretty sweet. Our piping looks like a crazy layout, but it's actually pretty straightforward. We've got a pipe to the left side here, pipe to the right side here, and then this pipe down the middle is for all of our exosuits that we've got kicking around. So we've got quite a few exosuits scattered around the base and like down here as well, and different places. So yeah, I quite like it. It's an easy build to do as well. Right, I'm still waiting on oil for this, but we could start pumping this out now. They've got rid of them balm lily flowers. Let's just get rid of this crap. And then we'll get our pumps going. We'll start sealing some of this up. I think we're ready to seal this anyway, unless I've... Oh, I could put some temp shift plates in, actually. That's what I'll do. Let's put some temp shift plates in. We'll just use a bit of granite. I've not actually got that much granite left. Do something like this. Oh, Hamfast, thank you very much for the sub, buddy. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? What have I missed? Sorry, guys. Rexcelsior, good evening. How are you? Tolslow, good evening. Fellow all, my internet won't let me stay. Best luck on the rest of the stream. Oh, Pilgrim. I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. Try coming back later, because if I get the codecs later, you'll be able to dial the quality down. No, sorry about that, bud. Right, let's get these done. So all I'm basically doing here is slapping in a few temp shift plates, just because I want to be able to transfer some of this temperature away, using the water that we're getting in. This should work fine. We have wasted a lot of granite here. That should be okay. I don't want these to be done with a priority 9, so we're just going to drop this back down to like a 7. We'll get them in quickly. And I'm also going to put a load of compactors down in here as well. We'll do this with like a 5. Sounds like an actual machine gun. Okay. And I'll need a vent in here, which I'll probably put in this top corner. So that's fine. We're still waiting on another thing of oil for there. Not any rush for that, really. We've currently got a bit of an oxygen shortage. I think we may need to do this power grid. I say power grid. We might need to slap down some hydrogen gens sooner rather than later. I might just put them here. I think that might be easy. Finally finished all the previous streams. Got here just in time to hear about your air cooling system. Nice, Excelsior. Good to have you here, bud. Glad you caught up, mate. No problem. Long time lurking watcher. Well, Hamfast, I'm glad you're chatting. Welcome, buddy. Welcome. Oh, we currently have the quality options. Oh. What's the storage area for that you just built? General stuff, Nori. Just getting all this crap from around the map just to make things a bit more efficient later. I love the O2 coolers. I plan to build them around my electrolyzers in my new base and see how much pre-cooling I can get. Nice. Nice. We will put some tubes in at some point. Yeah, we'll put some transport tubes in. In the States, so times are off. Have to watch on delay. Ah, okay, Hamfast. No problem at all. Well, good to have you here tonight, bud. Have they hotfixed? In a map change? I swear, a saved seed I had from the latest build has shrunk. Previous seeds from previous updates don't work on the next update XP. So seeds are only current for that patch. So any old seeds that you've got won't work anymore. Ah, Jesus, we're gonna have a coal again. I need to dig some coal out. Have we got any big seams anywhere? Any massive amounts anywhere? A bit down here. A little bit up here. Let's do a bit of a coal dig just to get me a bit of a power buffer because we're struggling at the minute for power. We've got iron, we've got loads of iron in here actually. This is where we're going to get all our iron from. Coal. Excellent. I don't want to do this. Got coal here as well. Right, let's get some of this dug out with some urgency because otherwise the base starts shutting down. Kind of want to dig all this crap out, honestly. Yeah, we'll slap a few ladders in just for ease. We'll do the same here. We'll get all this dug out. Boop. Like, we're literally existing solely on coal power at the minute, so no coal, no power. Which is not good. And there's a bit up here as well. Take some of this. Still not been in here yet. We explored it, but we didn't reveal it. Oh, here's a load of coal as well. Let's get rid of you. I'll head up here and get all this. I am going to want a lot of this iron, so we'll get this going as well. Domain's technically stuck at the minute. Oh no, we can get down there. That's fine. Okay, let's hop up here. Let's just start working down from the bottom as well. Let's get all this dug out. Beautiful. Seed is from this patch though. I'm not sure the next P. Don't think so. You also need to have customizable templates. You can just lay down your farm or look cool, etc. Single click. I assume there'll be some sort of planning or blueprint mode in the future. I think they're trying their best to not be too close to other games like RimWorld and stuff. They're trying to sort of keep it a little bit individualized, I think, which is great, but I do fully feel you. I think there should be a priority 0 mode or a priority X mode or something like that, where you can plan stuff out with a priority 0 and it'll never get built until you manually change it with the sub-priority tool, because the tool's already there. So you could potentially just build something in priority 0, tinker around with it till it's a complete build, and then increase your priorities to get it built. That sort of makes a lot of sense to me. But yeah, who knows? They've got to add something like that in the future, because it's something that everybody wants, I think. It's nice to be able to take your time planning something out without worrying of, ah shit, my dupes have started building half of my design. Do you know what I mean? That's nothing worse than that. So, I assume they'll do something like that in the future. They've got to. Right, we've got 13 tons of coal now. That's a bit more. That is a bit of a buffer. They're still working on these temp shift plates, so I can't do shit with this until this is sealed up anyway. I could start doing a hydrogen gen build, I suppose. That might be okay. Let's deconstruct this crap over here. And I think I'm going to seal this up on this side. I don't want people coming out here, I don't think. Otherwise I'm going to have suits going missing and stuff, which I don't want. By the way, am I a bit washed out? Do I need some more light? No! I don't want you going out here. No! That's not the way you go home. You go home this way. No. This is exactly what I didn't want. You go up here. Right, somebody build this tile. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Build. Build tile. Careful. Fuck. Get inside. Get in here. Get inside! None of this. You know what? It is what it is. As long as no exosuit dupes go through, I'm fine. So yeah, I think we'll do a little hydrogen gem build here, because it's really close to the hydrogen. We can cool it off dead easy, and we can connect it to this dead easy as well, I think. So that'll be good. Right, my pipe's being weird tonight. Okay, I'm missing something. In this cooler, what makes the clean water polluted again? Ah, okay. If you have a vent underwater, okay, so let's say we had a vent. If you try to pump clean water into this pool, okay, your clean water would float on top of the polluted water, and it would never change. But if you pump clean water under polluted water, like in a pool of polluted water, because it's surrounded on each tile, it becomes polluted water. So if clean water is surrounded on 3 sides, when it enters, right, how can I phrase this? If clean water is surrounded on 3 tiles by polluted water, it just turns into polluted water. That's the mechanic in the game. So that build is doing it in a very small space, basically. So yeah. Okay, it's a little bit of an exploit, but it's one that, again, it's sort of, there used to be many different ways of making polluted water in the game. You could drop liquid chlorine into polluted water, into clean water, and it would become polluted water. You could kill a dupe and leave a dupe in a pool of clean water. Can you do it the other direction? No. No. Start a micro build each square. Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah. You do need to think ahead a lot when you come to planning out a build, planning out their escape and how they're going to get out and stuff. Yeah, totally. Right, so let's dig you out. Right, actually. Yeah, this should all be low priority, really. I've got other stuff that I want them to be doing first. This is just for the idle dupes that either can't get an exosuit to leave or not specialised to do what I've asked them to do. We've got 21 tons of coal now. That should give us a bit of a buffer. This still seems to be working rather well, which is fine. We've got 88 hatchling eggs. So we're really not flying on food. I do need to sort food out, but I want to get power sorted first. Actually, I could start mapping out a little build up here, I suppose. Let me think. Let's just think for a second. Possibly going to do my new little build. See how it works on this map. I do want all this to not be built, ideally. Just whilst I figure this out. Don't know if I've got enough headroom here, that's the only problem. Don't think I have. Don't quite have enough space here to do what I want to do. We'll be able to put a lamp in here then. Bastard. That is really unfortunate, because this would have been a perfect little space for the farm that I want to do. Bastard. Could do it maybe for sleet wheat instead. I think that putting clean into polluted water should convert it anyway. Current oil and water behaviour is silly. Yeah, the thing is, there's a few behaviours that happen behind the scenes that you don't really understand until you tinker with it a bit. But yeah, it's basically, that's the rule. If it's surrounded on 3 tiles, it will convert. It happens in big pools of water as well. You just like to have doors that work. What do you mean, Hamfast? Sorry, what's that in relation to? Just don't know, he says bastard. Blue lads, good evening, mate. How are you? Should be used to that by now. Right. I want to do my little build, but I don't think I can fit it in here. Which kind of pisses me off a little bit. How could I do this differently? How could I do this differently? Unless I got some... Oh, that could work. What if I did it with shine bugs? Oh, that'd be pretty fucking sweet, you know. Oh, this is going to be an absolute nightmare. But I would like to try to do this. Do we have plastic at the minute? We have 20 tons of plastic. Okay, that's reasonable. Why don't we trap some shine bugs in our farm? This is the plan. Right, okay. Operation hatching a plan. Codename pneumatic door shine bug. Ah, piss, it still won't work. No, it could work. what I'm basically trying to figure out, for those of you that might not have seen the build that I'm talking about, I need to give light to these crops, and the way that you'd normally do it is you'd put a floor lamp in. Where is it? Furniture? Hello? Lamp? You'd put one of these lamps in like there, and that'd give light to all your crops. Well, I don't have room to do that down here, so I'm trying to think of another alternative. How big is the light radius on a shine bug? It's bigger than a lamp, isn't it? Bigger than a lamp. So I wonder if I could trap a shine bug there. That would be pretty cool if I could. If I could trap one there, that would fix my problem. Trap shine bugs in pneumatic doors. That's the thinking. My base feel like Theme Hospital at the moment. It ain't pretty. I've all your dupes running around with big heads. Exploding heads. Okay, if I trapped a shine bug there, that would actually give light to all these things. I'd have to trap them in a mesh tile though. If I trapped them in a mesh tile, I wouldn't be able to have a lamp here. It needs a tile under it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 7. Or maybe it would actually. 1, 2, 3. If I trapped a shine bug there. My brain won't work. Right, so it's one wider on each side.